Hello, everybody. Happy
Good.
Wednesday. Hi, Joe. How's it going?
Beautiful day today, Jade. How you doing?
You're loving the weather in Cape Town. Apparently, Joburg has got rain or overcast. I don't know what's going on there, but Cape Town has officially welcomed summer today, I reckon.
100%. It has been a beautiful week, and hopefully it just stays this way.
Absolutely, absolutely. But now, where in Cape Town exactly are you? Where do you stay?
I'm currently staying in Camps Bay, so I'm really close to the
Sorry.
beach, which is fantastic. It's also just great to get out and go for morning walks and runs. I mean, it's so much more.
I was actually just about to ask you, do you actually get out, or are you one of those Cape Townians who's like never climbed Lion's Head?
I won't climb Lion's Head again because I've done it way too many times as a tourist in Cape Town. But I have made it quite a habit to firstly, like in the evenings, I tend to go sit outside at 8 o'clock to watch the sunset. I just realized that you gotta make use of what's like in front of me. And I used to sit at home way too much until the one day I got out and I did it, and I was like, geez, like I would usually drive 30 minutes to come and see something like this, and it's on my doorstep. So
Literally.
I made that a habit, and obviously just basically having a beautiful view whilst you being active just makes the whole process a lot nicer. So
Absolutely.
I definitely try and get out as much as possible at this point.
Absolutely. Sure. We've got people joining us already. But you're right. It's about being active and getting outdoors when you can and being in nature, not to sound frou-frou and like, woo, but it really is. It throws a different dynamic. It like feeds your soul. It
100%,
really, really does.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Hello, Auntie Pat. Hello, Coach Jess is here as well. Antoinette, Karen, Gavin. Auntie Pat says, happy belated birthday to Coach Jess. Sweet man. When's your birthday, Joe?
I'm the 3rd of Feb. I'm an Aquarius.
So am I. Not the 3rd of Feb, but I'm a Feb baby as well.
I was just like, wow, that would have been very interesting.
That would be next level. Is also the 3rd. No, I'm the 17th. Aquarius.
We're good people.
We are good people.
Yeah,
we're the best
we can
people.
be a little bit feisty sometimes, but we're good people. 100%.
Yeah, my husband would agree with you there. Yeah. But now, are you born and bred Cape Townian? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so background information: I'm half Portuguese, half Lebanese. Dad's from Brazil, mom's from Lebanon. I was
born. Stop for a second. Do you speak any languages other than English?
Afrikaans.
Okay. But I mean, not even a bit of Spanish or Portuguese, or what? Do Lebanese people speak Lebanese? Is that the language? Arabic. Okay, you don't speak any Arabic.
I don't. It's a plan for the future. I gotta get it going. I know. We will get there.
We'll have words.
100%. So I was actually born in a tiny little town called Klerksdorp.
Okay.
And that's the northwest province. And then I grew up in a even smaller town. It's a little farm town called Verjunskroon, and that's in the Free State. So it's about like 30 minutes from Potchefstroom and Klerksdorp, which are probably the two most well-known places. Moved to Bloemfontein when I was 9 years old. Went to school there, did my undergrad there, and then I moved to Cape Town about 4 years ago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Extremely happy with my decision.
Oh, yay. Good. It is. It is the best. No offense to other parts of South Africa. I'm totally tongue-tied. I just get excited. But no, absolutely. Cape Town's very, very special. Sure. So you've moved around quite a bit.
100%. But I do enjoy like being all over the place. I think since the age of 18, I moved out of the house with my mom, and since then every year I've relocated to either a different apartment or a different city. And I like keeping things fresh. It kind of gets me excited to constantly be doing new things and kind of building up memories and experiences within each place individually.
Love that. Yeah. So you're a free spirit, absolutely.
100%.
Guys, before we really dive into getting to know this amazing human, I have to make it clear. This is not Coach Jethro. This is Coach Joe. Everyone gets you guys confused.
Look at me. My beard is structured quite nicely. I think you can tell the difference in Jethro and I based on our beards.
Really? Okay, so you're officially making it publicly known
Yeah.
that your beard is better sculpted and shaped than Jethro's. And that's
100%. I'm in the process of giving him some tips and I'm helping him
okay.
out.
You're helping him
It's
out.
a
Good.
step by step. It's a step by step game. So just give him a little bit of time, and then we might confuse a little bit more.
Coach Jethro says that he's the better looking one. I don't know what you say about that, but
Oh, I think we'll leave it up to everyone else on the platform to decide on that. We can maybe put up a poll sometime.
we should do a poll. Oh gosh, who's the better one? No, but honestly, guys, I even have to agree there. You guys honestly look like siblings. It's freaky. It's freaky.
Yeah, we've gotten it from many people.
But I mean, you guys
think
have
that's
known each
a-
other. You've known each other before, Jeff. You and Coach Jethro. I mean, have people prior to you joining the coaching team said that to you, or is this a new thing since you've been a part of the Jeff team?
Actually, not. Yeah, I've known Jethro probably for over a year now.
Okay.
And we've never gotten it before. As soon as I joined Jeff, it was
weird.
a new thing that got said. Yeah.
And then speaking about being new to Jeff, so for those of you who don't know, Coach Joe is one of our newer coaches to join the coaching fan. Hello, Nancy. She says hello, Jade and Joseph.
Hi, Nancy.
So Coach Joe is new to the coaching team, but Joe, tell us, like, what were you doing before Jeff? I mean, you always been in health and fitness.
So I was doing health and fitness back in Bloemfontein. I was working for a private gym there. When I relocated to Cape Town, I started teaching. So a little bit about me, I studied psychology. I recently completed my honors degree probably about over a year ago. And that's kind of where my passion for the fitness industry came into play, because I started doing research on how to integrate the mind and the body, and looking at how fitness is a great way to actually get an outlet and also to release endorphins. And that's kind of what you need when your mind isn't necessarily in the best space. So what I did when I moved to Cape Town, I originally taught speech therapy and drama to less privileged schools around Cape Town. With that, yeah, it was an absolutely beautiful experience. I mean,
sure.
I think this enriching the children's lives was like, I've always been a very compassionate person. I've always wanted to help the community where I possibly can. I think that's why Jeff is like such a beautiful fit. I like seeing people excel, and within that occupation, it was just an incredible foundation to actually do that. Unfortunately, due to COVID, with those areas being in the less privileged side of things, we weren't able to communicate online, and we also weren't really able to go in because of the risks throughout it. And then I started working at Stardust. It's a theatrical dining experience here in Cape Town.
I know Stardust.
Yeah, so we basically...
Wait, whoa. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you. Are you telling me that you can sing?
I can. I'd like to think
so. Oh, my goodness.
I sometimes sound better if someone's had a glass of wine, but...
Well, if you've had the glass of wine, or if the person listening is going to have the glass of wine.
It just makes for the best experience, in my opinion. Yeah, so Stardust is just, for those that don't know, it's a theatrical dining experience, and it's basically just your waiters are performers. So we just do like a little bit of everything. There's opera singers, classical, theatrical, and just the usual type songs. So that has been also an incredible platform to just basically meet individuals. It's helped so much with my interpersonal skills and just getting to know a wide range of people, and everyone kind of has a different way of operating and talking, and I think that created a great foundation for me as well, to just be able to interact with individuals from different backgrounds and different groups.
Love that. Sure. Hectic. So you've done so much. I'm so impressed. So I mean, going back to the Stardust thing, so guys, as Joe mentioned, it's a restaurant. I mean, you go there to eat dinner, but your waiters are not only serving you, they're also entertaining you, and they're performing. And I can tell you now, I mean, I haven't been to Stardust in a while, thanks COVID. But when I went last, I was blown away. The talent is immense. So what is your favorite song to sing, to perform?
So my favorite song, I am quite a ballad singer. I prefer doing slower tempo songs. So Fix You from Coldplay has to be my number one. It's one of those songs that I just connect to emotionally. I think through my music has always been my release from a little boy. It's gotten me through like a lot of obstacles in my life, and if I can attach lyrics to how I'm feeling or to how I felt, I think I'm just able to relay that emotion through song. And that song has definitely touched me in like some very different ways than any other song has.
Sure. Love that. Absolutely love that. The power of music, man. Love it. Love
100%.
it. And Seema says, we have such incredible coaches at Jeff. And I think that's so true. I think we forget that we have so much more to offer than just, nutrition and exercise. I mean, you mentioned a very, very strong focus and emphasis on the mindset piece and the importance of the psychology around marrying the two together. And I think that, coupled with the fact that you are a compassionate person, you want to give back, you want to help. It's why you are an epic coach. It's why, a position like this, being part of the coaching team at Jeff is just, you're going to thrive. I mean, you're already thriving. And it's so awesome. Absolutely. And tell us, like, I mean, with coaching and that and supporting people on their health and fitness journey, what is your coaching mantra or your coaching philosophy?
Basically, there's one principle that I've stuck by for a very long time, and that's just giving at least 1% every day. So as a coach, I am very strict and I am very firm, but I also understand that life gets in the way and we're human beings. You can't always be giving 100% into everything. And my biggest motto, or that I basically told my clients, is don't break the cycle. Because if you break the cycle, you go back to the beginning step. So it's just about that momentum and consistency in what you're doing. I'm also a firm believer in like trying to create a little bit of a routine within your day-to-day life, especially when it comes to exercising. I have just seen, and speaking from experience and just my own way of doing things, is if I basically tackle a workout first thing in the morning, and I am not a morning person, I can tell you that much.
Really?
Not at all. So after my cup of coffee, I just make it a mission to get that workout in. And once again, just trying to relay the psychology into it is just the release of the endorphins and the serotonin just gets you on a good space to start your day off. And it also just helps keep you accountable to actually fulfill the day properly, because you've put in that effort, you've put in that work, you know what you've done. So you just have to maintain it. And so I'm quite set on trying to create more of a routine within the fitness side of things. But yeah, my main go-to is just not breaking the cycle. Just keep trying to do one thing at a time.
Sure. And so, I mean, would you say then, like, I mean, how do you, because I mean, you're admitting it, you're saying, mornings are not your thing. So for clients who do struggle and for people who do struggle to, get out of bed, put the gear on and get going. I mean, what are you doing every day to get yourself going, even though yourself it's not a fun time to be having that alarm go off at 5 o'clock or whatever time it's going off for you to get going?
Yeah. So firstly, when that alarm goes off, do not snooze it, because as soon as you fall asleep for 5 more minutes, you'll wake up more tired and there's no way you'll get up. I've been implementing just getting up and getting into the shower before I have my cup of coffee, before I make my bed. I get into the shower, and I mean, if you're not going to be more awake after shower, then you're showering incorrectly. So we need to. That's basically how I wake myself up in the morning. But also something that I've told my clients that have started with me is do it once. Do it once. You'll see how good you feel after that, and how much more time you have throughout the day. I'm not necessarily a big reader, but I read a book called The 5 a.m. Club, and to anyone that has read that book, I mean, I highly, highly recommend it. And it's basically, if you're trying to achieve something and you're trying to make a difference within your own life, I mean, waking up a little bit earlier is putting you one step ahead of hundreds of thousands of people. And as soon as you actually do that, your day has more time in it. There's more time for you to do things. And you're just, as a whole, going to feel better. So what I've told my clients is try it once, see how that feels. And when you wake up that next morning and you're actually tired, remember how you felt after that workout. And that should be more than enough motivation to get you going for the day and the days following.
Absolutely. I don't know about you, but if I do find myself in a situation where I hit the snooze button and I make that decision whilst I'm lying in my warm bed. Nah, I'll do it later. What I end up finding is that it actually, that guilt and the anxiety around, well, firstly, the guilt for not sticking to the commitment I made to myself, coupled with the fact that now I've got this monkey on my back hanging over me, because now I've got to figure out somewhere in my day where I'm going to find time to actually do the exercise. I had the time. I'd made the time, and I chose to cancel on it. So now I'm going to find the time. So not planning, and when we don't plan things, that's when we're setting ourselves up for failure. For me, it just causes so much anxiety that it's actually self-sabotaging behavior. And once we get out of that cycle, or more often than not, getting up the first time that alarm goes off, you just set yourself up for success.
100%.
Yeah, no, it's so true.
Like exercising as a whole, it's something that I've also like been telling so many of my friends and just family members and clients as well, is like exercising is not a punishment. It's not necessarily easy, and especially starting off your journey. And if it's something that is new that you're implementing into your life, it's not necessarily going to be an easy process, but it should never ever be a punishment. And just to basically add on to that, something that I have a lot of friends that tend to want to start running and jogging, and it is obviously a great way to just keep active, get fit, and also it's great to be outdoors. If you have access to actually jog outdoors, you got to keep safe though. But what I always tell them is I generally I struggle to go running sometimes, and it sometimes does become a little bit monotonous because you're sometimes running the same route. And what I've done is not necessarily setting a specific kilometer that I want to run, or I've not necessarily said, okay, I want to run 1 kilometer in 4 minutes. What I've done is I've allowed myself to understand that I'm going for a jog just because firstly, I want to get out of the house. Secondly, it's going to be a good release for me. Thirdly, I most likely can listen to some lekker music whilst running. And whilst I'm jogging, if I get tired and I want to start walking, I start walking. And it's not like, and especially in the beginning of doing that, you sometimes feel like you're cheating the system, or you're jippering, or you're not giving absolutely everything. But it's okay. It's okay, especially in the beginning. Like you're starting a new process, a new journey. And if I'm fortunate enough to have a beautiful view, but if I get to a point and I see a lovely view, I stand there for 30 seconds to a minute and I take it in and I appreciate that moment. And the whole experience of actually getting out and exercising actually becomes one that's enjoyable and pleasant.
Love that.
It makes me want to do it again. So it is always extremely good, don't get me wrong. Like it's good to set goals. It's good to stick to them. It's good to push yourself when you need to push yourself. But it's also okay to take a break and just do it for the enjoyment thereof.
Absolutely. Boom, right there. Boom. From the man himself.
And it's helped. I can't explain to you how many of my friends have like said to me, hey Joe, I've started running and I did what you told me to do and it's so much fun. I'm going again tomorrow and it's just been amazing. And I think it's like sometimes you just need someone to just give you that little bit of insight that they've applied within their own lives. And if it works, it works. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely. And I think you've just hit the nail on the head, man. It's just like, gotta find the enjoyment in moving your body. If it's not fun, why are you doing it? Yes, absolutely. There are going to be times where the exercise or the workout or whatever you're doing is not necessarily the most fun you're having. And sometimes we just need to put in the work. Sometimes you just got to put your head down and put the graft in. But by accomplishing something that you may not necessarily, that you might have found challenging at the moment, will still spark joy because you've ticked something off and you've achieved something. So yes, okay, maybe not every workout's going to be the most fun, but that can't be the trend. That can't be the majority of the time that you're actually finding it's a bit of a slog. Then you probably need to reassess stuff. I absolutely love that approach, and it's something that we can do with any exercise, not just running, right?
100%. I think that's actually the beauty of home workouts is, and I've also realized this, if you get tired and you're struggling to just get that done, I mean, you can put on some loud music and jump around and dance around your house. And I did that in lockdown and I constantly kept my heart rate up, which was fantastic because I was constantly kind of burning in the process, but I made it like extremely pleasurable experience. So if at home, especially with the home workouts, you have access to do that. You can do your workouts in your underwear. You can look like trash if you want to look like trash. And it's fantastic because you can make it a fun, pleasant experience.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Guys, We've only got a couple more minutes left here with Coach Joe, about 8 minutes to go. So please, you've got any questions, pop them in the comments. If we don't get around to everybody's questions whilst we're live, I'm going to be putting Joe on the spot here, but I'm going to say I promise that Joe will get back to you. He'll go back and just scroll through on Facebook and answer any and all questions that he can. Yeah, geez, Joe, I think, we've spoken so much about finding joy and finding the love in things and knowing how important it is to prioritize yourself. But let's be honest, there are also parts of the fitness world and the health and fitness space that are our least favorite. So, I mean, I know you're not a morning person. So, I mean, maybe you're going to say that's probably your most least favorite part of fitness is having to get up early. But what is your least favorite thing about the health and fitness space?
It would probably actually tie into the pressure that I kind of put on myself. So something that you do need to know about me, I create a lot of balance within my daily or my weekly routine of activities. So I don't necessarily like something becoming monotonous and doing the same thing over and over. So I tend to incorporate swimming once a week into my routine. I do yoga once a week. I'll go play squash once a week. That kind of keeps it more exciting for me. But I think the one thing that I do generally dislike about fitness is I sometimes put too much pressure on being better than the previous day, if that makes sense. And I think that's just something that I have started basically realizing over the past year is like I'm constantly wanting to better myself, but I'm also not understanding that every day is different, if that makes sense. Like there are some days where I'm going to have more energy and feel better than others. So I can't constantly be on an uphill scale doing better than the day before. There are going to be days where I'm going to be stagnant and there are going to be days where I decline. But to be completely honest with you, I absolutely love being active. I really do. It's become such it's like I said in the beginning of this chat, like how music was the release. Being active was the same thing. And during lockdown, I actually was doing home workouts and I tied a resistance band outside against one of these massive metal hooks I have in the wall. And the metal hook shot off and smacked me in my chest. And I actually cracked one of my ribs. And from that, I wasn't able to exercise, but I also wasn't able to sing because I couldn't breathe without it like hurting. And that was probably one of the most traumatic times of my life, to be honest with you, because I didn't have that release. And fitness and being active has just always been that.
Absolutely. And I think that's also something a lot of people don't realize is that when you're stressed or when you're going through a tough time, the last thing you should be taking off your plate to lighten your load is your exercise.
100%.
Exercise is not just about the body and burning calories and losing weight or toning up or whatever your reason for exercise. There's a massive mindset piece. I mean, on a hormonal level, even if we're just speaking as bluntly as that, you are releasing certain hormones after exercise. It's literally called the happy hormone, and that's what exercise does. It really, it's so good for you. It's so good for you.
It really is. I mean, that's one of the things that I've been doing a lot of my research on has been that integration and having the actual solution part of any type of mental disorder, whether it's an eating disorder where it's being overly anxious, depressed, bipolar, whatever it is, there are so many different physical activities that relate to different types of after effects on the human mind. And I think it's a beautiful thing to try and find those things. So it's something that I'm also looking at, something that I would love to implement with a lot of my clients is, for example, like if you go for a walk or go running and it's not something that you enjoy, something that's not necessarily doing what's needed to be for you to mentally advance, there are so many other things that you can do, and it's worth just giving that a try.
Absolutely. And I think it's about finding what works for you, and surrendering to the fact that, just as you said, a health and fitness journey or this lifestyle of being healthier and moving our bodies, it's not like this. You don't start at 0 and end at 10. We need to stop being so fixated on, as you said, trying to be better than the day before. Just like let that go. Just let that go. And the journey is like this, right? It's up and down because life's up and down. You can't guarantee that tomorrow you're going to squat heavier or run faster than you did yesterday, or swim more laps. But just I think, as you say, we get so consumed in the comparing and the comparison of it and the pressure of it, where we just kind of forget like why we started. And that's why, I mean, when I was coaching full time, obviously because now I'm a team lead, so I'm no longer actually coaching one-on-one clients. But when I was coaching, I often said to my clients, I want you to now go after the initial consultation, go and write up that why you're doing this, and go stick it somewhere in your house where you will see it every day. To constantly remind yourself, and that why has got to come from a place of emotion. It can't just be because I want to be thin.
Yeah,
it's got to come from like within you. You might even find, and I'm sure you'll agree, Joe, it's like when clients speak to that real why and they really get to the nitty gritty, that's when a lot of people actually get quite emotional talking about it, because it's coming.
It's a deeper. There's usually a deeper meaning, and it can relay from any time of your life. And I think that's the one thing as well. Our subconscious mind and our unconscious mind is such a strong part of ourselves that we aren't really aware of. And sometimes, if you actually, like we just said, look for that deeper meaning, it relates to things that you've experienced like way back in your life. It could be present, but it could also be past. I think based on what Leslie just said in the comments, what you spoke about now is very applicable. And I am a very honest person. I'm not necessarily going to try and like go around corners to try and formulate like a response that's going to make you feel better. I'm going to be honest with you, and it's hard to not compare yourself to people. Like, you are going to compare yourself to people. Just know that there's a healthy way of doing that as well. You don't necessarily need to undermine yourself and hate yourself for not being like that person, but you can use people to motivate you. If I go to the gym, I go train at the busiest time, because I want to look at someone and be like, hey, you're looking so good. And it motivates me to do better. So don't compare yourself and undermine yourself and make yourself feel bad about that. In retrospect, just allow it to motivate you to know that you are actually able to achieve that. And it's a step-by-step thing. It's a step-by-step process. And it's difficult as well. We always think that we're not going to compare ourselves to ourselves, and you want to be doing it for yourself. And I think that's the end goal. And you want to just be looking in the mirror every day and know that you've done something and you're one step better. And whether that's doing 100% of the exercise or just merely doing something, you're already 1% better than what you were.
Absolutely. Boom. Guys, can you believe that we literally have like a minute left? I always say to coaches, trust me, this half an hour flies. Joe, to close this off, please tell these amazing people that are watching right now, whether they're watching us live or they're on catch up, why, first of all, if they're considering the one-on-one, which they should be if they haven't yet done it. And even if they've done it, they should be coming back, because we've got some insane stuff coming out at the moment, already out and more to come. But why should they be reaching out to you? Why should they be contacting you? And why you're the coach for them?
So firstly, like I said, I am an extremely compassionate person. So I want to hear about you. I want you to talk to me and engage with me with what your experience, what you're going through. And I think the interaction on the one-on-one program is perfect for that. With that being said, I'm a hard ass too. Like, I want to keep you accountable. I want to get you to achieve what you want to achieve. But I want to do that properly. I want to do that with compassion. If you are sitting with underlying things of any type, mental disorder, with regards, if you're generally someone that suffers from a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression, eating disorders, especially binge eating, something that I focus on a lot, and that also a book that I read is habit stacking. And looking, instead of trying to remove a habit completely from your life that's a bad habit, it's looking at attaching a good habit to that bad habit. Because once again, by doing that, you're doing one step better. And soon you'll constantly be doing that good habit and removing the bad habit. So habitual change, behavioral change, I'm your go-to guy.
Love it. flip, and everyone is just loving you, Joe. I mean, Karen just said, what an amazing man you are, Joseph. Leslie says, you are a beautiful soul, Coach Joseph. Nice to get to know you. And I can tell you now, there are people that haven't commented yet who are feeling the exact same. I don't know about you guys, but just hearing Joe speak, I'm like, geez, where do I sign up? I want to sign up and be coached by Joe. Joe, you're amazing. And Henny, if we can please bring up Coach Joseph's contact details here at the bottom. I don't know if we've got them. Hopefully we do. If we don't, we're going to have to just quickly get Joe to shout out his cell phone number. Coach Joe, can you rattle off your work cell phone number to us? And then we can pop that on the screen for everybody to write that down and so they can get in touch with you and to find out how they can sign up with you.
So the number is as follows. 061 061
061
515 0180.
There we go. You've got it. Henny, I hope you caught that. Let's pop that on the bottom. There we go. Love it. Henny, you are amazing. 061 515 0180, guys. If you or someone you know you need the one-on-one, you need a coach like Joe, who's not only going to just be like, hey, where's your food pics, where's your workouts? He's actually going to support you and help you establish a new, healthier, happier you, whatever that may mean for you. Joe's your guy. Coach Joe, you're amazing. And you are an asset to this coaching team. I feel like you've been here for years already because you just feel like you're part of the family already. And just so proud of you, man. And just thank you for sharing.
Thank you. I mean, I'm so happy to be part of this platform. It is the most incredible experience so far, and I'm so excited to see where it goes from here.
Absolutely. Yay. Cool, man. Thanks everybody for watching and getting to know Coach Joseph. And like I said, if you want to get in touch with him, there's his number there. I don't know where on the screen. Yep, there. It's over there. Call him today, guys. We've got an incredible month-end promo at the moment. Sign up before the end of this week, and you get to have this incredible human coach you and helping you get towards a healthier, happier future self.
100%. Thank you for tuning in, guys. It's a beautiful day further.
Cheers, guys. Thanks so much.